Hi, I'm Danielle with ribbonstorage.com and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to be making one of the cards from my Platinum and Royal Blue card kit. This one is amazing. It has a lot of depth, but you'll be shocked at how fast it is to put together. Let's get started. This one only involves 2 ribbons. This beautiful 2.5-inch pewter metallic ribbon. You can see that texture in there, and it's a wired ribbon, which you'll see later why I chose to use a wired ribbon for this. And then we've got a 2-inch, they call this a haute couture, double-faced royal blue satin ribbon. And you can see how those layer over each other really nicely. We're gonna go ahead and put together our card front. It gives us that foundation to wrap our ribbon around, and it makes it so we can hide all our multitude of sins on the back of the card front and nobody will see them. Okay, we're gonna center this right there. And you'll want to make sure as you're putting the adhesive on, we want the embossed side up. Also with the blue card, it has a really great texture on both sides, but you'll notice on one side, the texture is just a little bit deeper than it is. It's just a little bit deeper on one side, and that's the side we want face up. Okay, our card front's together. Now we're going to measure out this great pewter ribbon. And because it's wider, you're going to need a little bit more to just wrap around, probably about a 1/2 inch extra. And then we're going to add the adhesive to the back side, and you'll be able to tell it's the back side because the pattern is just a little bit duller on this back side than it is on the front. See how this front side has a little more sparkle to it? So we want to make sure we're adding the adhesive to the back side of the ribbon. There we go. And then we're just going to center this. And I'm not going to stick it down just yet because we need this part to go underneath it. So I'm going to measure that out. Again, giving myself a little bit of wiggle room. Now this one, because we're going to tie it in a bow, I'm going to give myself extra because I can always cut it off. Any excess. So I'll do about that length. And because we want it to wrap around and see the texture that way, we're going to put the adhesive just right here in the center on the right side of the ribbon. Now I know that's different than what I normally tell you. I'm just putting it in the center there because we're going to adhere it just to the back there. Okay, now I'm gonna put this one over top. And we're gonna lay that right down in the center. Now let's measure out our double-faced satin ribbon. And again, because this one's double-faced, there's no right and wrong side. So it doesn't matter which side you put the adhesive on. You'll notice this one has a little bit of a crinkle in that. The easy way to get rid of that is with a flat iron. So one of my tricks is I keep an old flat iron that I used to use for my hair in my craft room, and I just let it warm up. And each ribbon is going to be a little bit different. So check your settings, but I normally start pretty low. Satin, I know it has a lot more durability to it. But if you'll see, I just run it over. You can iron it. You can do anything that will warm it up just a little bit. And ta-da! No more crinkle. Look how crisp that looks. All right, we're going to go ahead and put the adhesive on the back. And throw that right on top of there. Okay, now we're gonna tie this. Oops, I'm not sticking there. Add some adhesive to the side here. I want that to stick down a little bit while I do that. So I'm just gonna put the adhesive right on my counter there. And now we're gonna tie this in a bow. I probably could have given myself a little bit more ribbon, but this will work too. And I'm gonna just take advantage, see how it gathers as I pull that bow together. I'm gonna go ahead and stick this around the back, and then we'll work with it a little bit more to get it finalized. Okay, so go ahead, add some adhesive right here to the back of your card so that as we bring the ribbon around, as we fold the ribbon around, that will have something to stick to. And the nice part about double-faced ribbon is it has a little bit of give to it. So if we have to lift it and replace it, this is the perfect adhesive for that. You can use a glue, just make sure you get a glue that dries clear. And with the satin ribbon, any kind of glue normally has a tendency to kind of seep into the ribbon and create a little bit of a shadowing. So if you are using glue, make sure you only use it on the back of the satin. You don't want a big like watermark in your satin. So got a little bit of adhesive there, but look at that. I'm just gonna rub that right off. It will come right off. And then we're just gonna make this look really pretty so that it's ready to send. I'm gonna pull this up and just add those layers in. Pull that pewter ribbon out so that you can see it. There we go. And I like it to curl up just a little bit. And then I'm gonna use my scissors to just trim that edge a little bit more so it looks a little more finished. Follow along the line. There we go. Okay, now let's adhere that again. Obviously that satin is not sticking, so guess what? We're gonna really tape it down. We're just gonna tack that satin ribbon down with this adhesive, and then I'm gonna, because I'm now ready to attach it to the card base, I'm gonna make sure I hit all the corners, give that extra little security of attachment there. A little bit down the middle. All right, now we're going to attach it to the card base, and then I'm going to just rearrange it to make sure it looks exactly like I want it to when I'm done. Okay, make sure your card base is open. It's a lot easier to center if the card base is laying flat. Otherwise, it has a tendency, at least for me, to be all skewumpus if I don't lay it flat. Got a little bit of extra adhesive there. Just rub that off. It rolls right off. There we go. Now I'm going to just shape that exactly how I want it. Trim off any little extras. And you're good to go. There we are, all done. If you want, you can tack these over to the side. You can pull that as tight as you want. It just depends on what your preference is. Get creative and do it exactly how you like it. If you're interested in the entire platinum and royal blue card kit, go ahead and visit me at my Etsy store. You'll get there by going to ribbonstorage.com. And if you're a loyal Ribbon Storage customer and you already have my ribbon spools, make sure you check your Etsy messages or your email for your 30% off. Thanks so much.